If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them. Speaking of Patreon, shout out to all the patrons. I released the 4th of July freestyle about 4 weeks early on Patreon. So the rest of you beautiful people, you guys got to see the video just now, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the actual song was released like 3 or 4 weeks early on Patreon. So there you are, dear listener. Okay, but this is not a song that we've done. This is a song that a band named Phineas has done.
Dream Thief is the name of the song.
For the big homie Hector. Hector! I don't know if you guys know where that came from, but that came from one of my favorite, actually one of Sori's favorite movies. I think it was Troy. My man Brad Pitt, after his boyfriend got killed, he went out. He's like, "Yo, Hector, where you at?" But they didn't make him the boyfriend. They didn't make it accurate. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, Phineas. Phineas is on the way. The name of this band is Phineas. The name of the song is Dream Thief, I believe.
die for nothing in the end. Remember all the blood you bled. Is it wasted? Who are you when your dream is
That was really heavy. You know, kind of reminded me of Spirit Box.
Yeah, I could see that. If it was a girl vocalist, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. For sure.
She kind of does that with like the way that she does the whoa.
Okay, what'd you think?
I really like this one. Is he basically talking about like when you get to the end of something and everything kind of like fails, but then, you know, seeing if it was all worth it, basically, in the end?
Well, I mean, the title of the song is Dream Thief. The chorus is, who are you when your dream is dead? Was it worth your life to find nothing at the end? Remember all the blood you've bled. Is it wasted? Who are you when your dream is dead? So it looks like
when you get to the end of something and it's
somebody put out for their dream,
and
they bled, sweat, and cried over it, and then it's not going to work out. So what do you do after that?
Mm-hmm.
Because most people are basically living to fulfill that dream, especially when you're young. When you're young, you have all these dreams and there's all these possibilities, and then, life happens to you. Yeah, so...
Well, it was a little bit confusing when it said a choice must be made to die alone or endure when love is taken away.
Okay, so because this got blocked. Got blocked.
No, it's
no.
Fine. Well, hold on.
Because we only have 3 people, right? It looks like is it back?
I don't see that it was gone. Usually it's gone when I click on this, but
let me check my mail because I went down to 3. Now it's back up to 7. I know Amy, Tony, Dwayne. Okay.
He said he lost the chat.
Either way, we're back. So go ahead. Say that part you were gonna say.
Well, a choice must be made to die alone or endure when love is taken away. That was a little bit confusing to me. Like, if it was just a dream, if something that you wanted to accomplish and then in the end you failed on it and you weren't able to accomplish it, then that makes sense, obviously. But I didn't understand why to die alone or endure when love is taken away. Is he using love as...
Well, it's like I talked to my friend, I was talking about my friend yesterday where he said if you're trying to be a world changer, then it's hard for relationships because, in the pursuit of your dreams, if the person you're with doesn't have the same dream, then you're going to have to choose between one or the other.
Right.
So he sacrificed love and all this other shit to achieve his dream, but then the dream died. So how does that work?
Because then he lost both, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because you sacrificed all this stuff for your dream, and then that happens. So
was it worth your life to find nothing in the end?
Right. So like you're every driven person knows this. Like if you're not with somebody who's like completely down with that, then it's obviously going to create conflicts. I mean, Tom Brady and Giselle is a big part of it. Although I'm sure Giselle would say, "What are you talking about? You've already accomplished your dreams."
Yeah, and
Six
she
times
was
over.
with him. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, so yeah, all those things happen. I mean, I don't think I've ever talked to a driven person who hasn't lost a relationship due to their drive. Like Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about this. He hit this guy and he'd come up with some crazy software thing that ended up making him $10 million or whatever. But it, you know, he was in his room 14, 15 hours a day and his girlfriend was like, come on, what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. And she basically gave him an ultimatum and the guy dropped his girl and, 6 months later became a millionaire. So, that would be a situation where the dream actually worked out. But it doesn't always happen that way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would have, that would really, oh. Yeah, for me, that would really suck. If I gave up everything for a certain thing, and then it turned out that thing didn't even work out either. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely second guess myself along the way.
Here lies fate, its name engraved in a golden headstone, once brilliant in shine, now dimly veiled in dust and bone. This guy can write his bum off. Fate sang a siren song that is enough, or was it something just a curse in the morning? Failed love. Broken, but there must be more. The pieces don't fit like they did before. Now, this could be that the relationship itself was the dream.
See, that's what I thought. That's why when I read that line, I that's what I thought it was.
This is
but
not.
Then,
go ahead.
It's losing everything that will teach you. Well, unless he's saying, yeah, if the relationship was it, and he put everything into the relationship, and then see, that makes more sense to me. Because I feel like, wow, I mean, how many people could really actually fail on their, you go all in on something to that degree and you still fail on it? I don't know, to the degree that you lose your relationship and everything. To me, making the relationship everything, and then...
I think most people, though, if you're talking about a dream, you're talking about, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a baseball player. I haven't, but maybe this is a difference between men and women. I haven't heard many guys ever say, especially when we were in high school, oh, a relationship is my dream. Most of us were talking about being a rapper or basketball or whatever, something that only 1% of humanity is going to accomplish. But for for women, it might be women fantasize or dream about and I'm sure there are dudes that dream about having family too. I just didn't interpret that way, but it could definitely be that for sure. That line is crazy. This is not hope. This is denial. Oh, yeah, that is crazy.
That was a pretty crazy line.
Which, my kids, we were watching football, and, my boys were like, yeah, we're going to move down to Florida, we're going to join some teams, blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at them and I said, you're not getting on any team in Florida for football. And they're like, I can't believe you're saying this to us right now. You're supposed to encourage us. And I said, nah, bro, if you guys get out there and you're getting at it every single day, sure. But you're not just going to stroll into Florida. That's the height of football country. That's the SEC, for God's sake. And I understand you guys aren't big sports people, but basically that's the pipeline for basically, amateur to professional is the Southeastern Conference, which is where they would be for football. So these kids are getting trained literally from birth how to play the sport. Mm-hmm. You're not just going to stroll in there from Maine and casually make a team. Mm-hmm. And so, I try my best, whereas my daughter has real designs of being an author, famous author, J.K. Rowling level author. And that one, I completely encourage her on because she's on her 5th or 6th full-length book. I'm talking about hundreds of pages. She's 16 years old, I think. 15, 16 years old.
15, yeah.
By the time she was 15, she had literally 4 or 5 full-length books under her belt. Well, that's different. I'm going to be like, hell yes, you could be an author. Hell yes, you could write. How many, 16-year-olds have completed entire manuscripts and are writing screenplays? That takes a lot of dedication. And that is the type of thing that I want to encourage as a parent and say, hell yeah, you could do anything. But I don't like just complete denial and bullshit. If you're not practicing as hard as possible, there's no way you're going to make an SEC type football team. And so I try to balance that as a parent between encouraging their dreams while simultaneously being realistic. And what I've come down on is, in order to become a 1%er at anything, you've got to be maniacal and obsessive about what it is you're doing. And so that's kind of how I gauge it. So if there, Dorian does things uncommon, if he says, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 21, I believe him because he does things business wise. Yeah. Like right now, he's working on closing a deal with us with the U.S. Customs Department, literally the Customs Department. So that's something where I'm like, hell yeah, you could absolutely be a millionaire by the time you're 21. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But again, being on the, that's something that's very rare to do, but that's how I try to do it. Like, I don't want to give my kids false hope or denial, but at the same time, I do want them to stretch themselves and push themselves to that kind of 1%er level.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And that connected into this song because
he said this is not hope, this is denial. And so there is a really difficult kind of balance when you're talking about people's fantastical dreams. There's always that danger of being completely unrealistic and just whimsical, but on the other side of being completely negative and saying it's not going to happen. So balancing out the difference between hope and denial, I think is very, very important. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so brutally honest about things with the kids, because, I don't want to gas their head up with bullshit. But at the same time, I do want to encourage them to think 1%er thoughts. I was listening to a sermon one time from John MacArthur, and this is actually what gave me this philosophy as a parent. John MacArthur was like, yeah, as a parent, you're supposed to tell your kid you could do anything. And he's like, that's ridiculous. You can't do anything. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you can't do anything. That's ridiculous. That's a lie. Most of you have failed at what you said you were going to do at 16 years old. Yeah, it was mind-boggling to me to hear a pastor say that, but I was like, you know what? He's right. Because Eminem is like, lose yourself in the music. And then in the ad-libs, he's like, you can do anything you want to do, man. No, Eminem. No, people cannot be anything they want to be. Eminem was obsessive about writing raps. It was what he did all day. He analyzed songs when he was like 7 years old and was breaking down the lyrical structures in the rhyme screen. That shit is not normal. So Eminem can be that because he puts in that kind of work. But I don't care what you're trying to be good at. Even if it's relationships, you need it. Look, man, it is extremely difficult even to maintain relationships. And people take that for granted. But whatever it is that you want to be successful at, you have got to work at it more than everybody else if you think you're going to make it. That's how I feel about it. The problem is that what do you do? How do you recover, though? Let's say you have put the work in and you're just not there and it doesn't happen. Does the question keep you up at night lying in your bed? Does it still haunt you? Who are you when your dream is dead? That's a really, really good question, because a lot of people have their identity wrapped up in their dream. They can't make a distinction between their dream and, who they are as a person. Go ahead.
I always feel like that there's another pursuit, though.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's the, maybe that's the escapism side of me. Like, there's always, a plan B of something else you can do if a dream doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I was talking to this lady because she was saying her relationship was ending, and she had basically made her relationship wasn't ending. It was worse than that. Her kid was leaving for college, and her relationship to her kid was so much stronger than her relationship to her spouse. And so she was like losing herself when the kid was leaving, and her and her husband really didn't have a whole lot left, like, together, because it was just about her and her daughter. And now that her daughter was leaving, like, her whole entire world was ending. And so I was like, yeah, but don't you have other, like, things that you want to pursue? Like, I mean, do you have some art stuff that you're interested in or whatever? But, you know, she was like, well, I'm already pursuing all the things I want to pursue. So I don't know what she ended up doing with that. But never mind. I don't know. I'm thinking that, like, does somebody really get to a point where everything, I guess it does happen to people. That's probably what their crises are, where you don't have anything left to pursue. But don't people have multiple dreams that they're interested in, and that you know, if one of them fails, you can kind of say, well, then let me just put all of my energy into the other one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we're experiencing, guys, but it keeps kicking guys out and getting people back. So I'm seeing that. I don't know really what to do about it, because it's not. Yeah,
XBM said just refresh. That would be my suggestion.
It's not anything too. We're doing. The problem is that, like, you know, we're at 18 now. It's at the 5, so people are just
something is
out.
happening. Yeah.
But either way, that line was crazy though when he said, "A choice must be made to die alone or endure when love is taken away. You are more than your failures, child. So take the gun out of your mouth." So whether it's a failed relationship, a failed football career, a failed anything, the line is very positive, because it said, you know, you're more than your failures. Take the gun out of your mouth. But again, that's got to be something. And I know Phineas is a Christian band. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So they're going to say that if you root your identity and value in anything other than God, then you're probably going to blow yourself away. Because we see this all the time in the metal community, where, you know, that's one of the reasons "Got the Life" is my favorite song of all time. It's because Will, you're not that late. We're in the middle of the second song. It's because he achieved the dream. But in the chorus, he's saying, you know, God told me, you know, you'll never see the life you want to see. You've already got the life. So it's like, what happens when you achieve the dream? Because there's a bunch of ways a dream can die. It's just like a pregnancy. There are a bunch of ways that a pregnancy can end. It can end in a dead child, or it can end in a living child. Either way, the pregnancy is over. It's the same thing with a dream. You can end a dream to some degree by failing at it or by succeeding at it. The problem is that once your waking life is equivalent to your dream life, then what do you have after that? At least if your waking life is not equivalent to your dream life, you can always say, well, I can dream, I can sleep, I can look forward to something. But if your waking life and your dream life are indistinguishable and you're still miserable, then you're fucked. And it's one of the reasons why our rock star heroes keep dying. And that's the reason why, is because they've achieved their dream and they thought the dream was going to solve the problem, and they're still miserable. And they worked so hard to achieve that dream, they achieved it, and they're still miserable. So the real death of the dream isn't necessarily attaining the goal. The ultimate dream that everybody has is they want to be happy. So we think that these things are going to bring us happiness, rock stardom, relationship, whatever. And if there's a God, then he's gonna actively work to destroy those situations, so that you can see that that's not where it's at. If he loves you, if God has given up on you, then he's just gonna let you be happy with all these lesser pursuits. But if he really, really has his eye on you, then he's going to give you that sense of dissatisfaction even after you've accomplished your dream, so that you get the idea that, holy shit, there's got to be something bigger than this. Like, I'll never forget. Like, it's crazy to me because I love Tom Brady to death, but he still doesn't get it, I don't think. I was watching an interview with Brady where they asked him, like, hey, what was it like? Because Brady basically won a Super Bowl in his first active year. He got on. He was a rookie. He was like a second, third string quarterback. And then the very next year when he actually started playing, he won a Super Bowl, basically his first shot at it. And the newscaster said, hey, what was going through your mind when you were holding up the trophy? And Brady said something really fascinating. He said, is that it?
Yeah.
And ever since then, he's chasing some feeling that he's not able to really describe or bottle up because you're always going to fall short in anything in this world. It's always going to disappoint you. You're always going to have that moment where you go, is this it? I remember, this is kind of a weird... Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. First time I had sex, right? And there was all of this, like, hype about sex and all the rest of it. And then when it actually happened, I was like, is this the big... You know what I'm saying? It was such a weird, like, crazy moment where I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be or do or whatever. But anyway, it's a really, really powerful song, and it's definitely a provocative question. Holy smokes, Hector, you're coming with the heat. I really like the song. Obviously, I like the heavy breakdown. Very inspiring. My guitar's at the shop right now. But holy shit,
I enjoy the vocal style.
I can't wait to get it back.
The setup of the song, the way that it was heavy throughout the whole thing. This is a 9.8 for me.
Solid 9.1. I think if God really exists, he should watch all the Kardashian reruns so he's not so bored, because he keeps doing shit all over just because he's bored up there. I don't know if he's bored with the Kardashians, but holy shit. All right. We shall return because it's still Hector's birthday. We have more metal for you coming soon. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go.